Here we have the current stock market update for SiriusXM Holdings Incorporated, stock ticker SIRI. Before we begin with today's chart analysis, if you find this educational material to be helpful in your trading, please remember to click the like and subscribe buttons and leave your thoughts below in the comments section so that other traders will be able to find this information more easily on the platform. So here we have the daily price chart. We're going to stay a bit here with the longer term view to just sort of get a sense of where we're trading at the moment. And as we can see here, the share price itself really has taken a fairly significant run lower recently. The stock is starting to get a bit more attention because we're starting to hear that Warren Buffett is moving into this stock at these lower levels. And as we can see, if we pull out just here briefly, we can see that this is a stock that has been under a tremendous amount of selling pressure over the long term. So we can see some very significant movements here to the downside. If we just sort of drill in here to the daily price chart, we can see that these near-term lows come in at 22.73. This is now the major level to watch to the downside. Near-term resistance levels are coming in right around 26.15. Just write that in here quickly. So this prior price high during this would be the September 23rd trading session, comes in at this 26.15 area. And as we can see here, this also matches up fairly closely with the 20-day exponential moving average. So this is really the area that we should be watching as far as the stock's ability to start to take pressure off of the downside. I do think we would probably need to see a breakthrough here first in order to start to generate some new upside momentum. But overall, this stock has a lot of wood that needs to be chopped here. There's a lot of work that needs to be done before we can really start to expect to see a major movement higher in prices. And the real issue here at this point is whether or not the stock has formed a base. So we are going to drill in a bit here on the shorter term time frames just to get a better sense of where we are at the moment. We'll move down to the 4-hour price chart. So each candle on this time frame now represents a 4-hour trading period. And we can see here now that the moving average region here does look a bit different. And we can start to see that share prices are now trading right in line with that 20-period EMA on the 4-hour time frame. And we can also see that this 23.6% Fibonacci level is also coming into fairly close contact with the 50-period exponential moving average. So here are some levels that should be watched to the top side. This 23.6% Fib level comes in right around 27.10. So this is another level that would really need to be seen in order for share prices to start to gain some momentum in the other direction. Just quickly here, we will also look at the hourly time frame to drill into these near-term support zones. And as we can see here, the share price itself, is starting to, form a bit of a lower low and lower high here. So specifically, this is what I'm really looking at. This prior price low, which comes in right around 22.60, and then this near-term price high, which comes in just below the $25 mark. So we're starting to see, a series of continued price movements here to the downside, where we're not really able to retest prior resistance zones. And then in the process, share prices are also forming new lows. So that's a negative sign here. And the real question is whether or not, we'll start to break those prior lows, which came in at 22.73. So currently, this is starting to look like how, starting to look the way, things are likely to shape up here. We will need to see if that region at 22.73 is able to hold up. But I would consider the near-term resistance level to come in right around $25, just below there. Near-term support comes in right around 23.60, and then this sort of more major level can be seen at roughly 26.15. So these are the levels that I would be watching to the top side and to the downside. To close out this video, we will just take a look at the daily indicator readings here. Because this will allow us to get a sense of where the momentum is currently headed for this stock. And as we can see here, there are several reasons here to believe that overall this downside has not yet completed itself. So specifically what I would be pointing to here in the relative strength index would be this broken uptrend line that had been in place previously. So this went back for quite some time here. I mean, this really goes back to the middle of April, this uptrend in share price momentum, but this did start to break as share prices were falling during the September 4 trading session. So, just as we were falling through support, we can sort of point that out here. Just as we were falling through this support zone here, share prices were also breaking through that uptrend in the relative strength index momentum reading. So these two things happened at the same time, and this is really the reason that we did start to see, these extreme sort of declines here in the downside direction. As we can see, if we move in closely here, this support zone really turned out to be quite important because we did initially form this area during the August 5 trading session. Share prices moved up, fell through here, broke through this support zone. And then once it was retested from the bottom, this actually worked as resistance, as we can see here. So that's a fairly good lesson of how, to explain how support zones can actually work once they're broken. Once they're broken from the top, and then they're retested again from the bottom. They will be expected to work as support as resistance zones because the prior buy orders have now turned into sell orders. The market has to essentially flip around. There are a lot of stop losses that are likely to be in place below this area after a market asset forms a support zone like this. And then once those stop losses get tripped, those buy orders turn into sell orders, and then this creates a resistance condition going forward. So we can see that this occurred here, and then share prices did continue to move lower. So as things currently stand here, we'll just wrap up this video here. But we will say that, overall, the readings in the momentum indicator are still negative. So this does suggest that, this prior uptrend here has been broken, and this near-term downtrend is still in place. So what this really tells us, or at least allows us to ask the question here, is what is going to happen once markets retest this 2273 support zone? Are we going to fall through here and form a new low, or will share prices be able to find some support in this area and eventually start to move higher? The key that we will be seeing a bottom here would come with a break of 2615. We can start to revise the outlook at that point. Probably to at least a more consolidative sideways type of viewpoint. But as things currently stand, we do need to see a break of this resistance zone first before we can start to change this bearish bias. So here's the current stock market update for Sirius XM Holdings Incorporated, stock ticker SIRI. Our high value trading strategies membership is currently available for a limited time for only $9.99 per month. These high conviction investment strategies are characterized by superior risk to reward metrics that target massive market beating returns over time. Join now to outperform the market. Lock in this special introductory rate of just $9.99 per month for the entire lifetime of your membership and start trading stocks with the pros.